2, 1.
Hello and welcome to the Pixel Scandal Nerdcast, episode 26. I am Kurt. End of line, how you doing?
End of line.
Sorry.
I'm just going to jump ahead there.
Technical issue I had to address there. I apologize. Hello.
Nightson.
Oreztes.
Yeah, I'm Gigett. Hi.
I think someone messed the order up.
Aha!
Sorry, that's my bad this time.
I'm reading off the sheet.
How you
me
doing,
too.
Nightson?
All kinds of goodness. Yes, all kinds of goodness.
All right.
How are you feeling down there, Handor?
Left out for a second, but I'm good now. I'm Handor.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
I mean, now that we've gone through the trouble of introducing everyone.
Can you believe this is episode 26?
I know,
What?
right? It's almost as if we've been trying to do this for several,
Yeah.
I don't know, for a long time. We've been trying to do this for a long time.
We've been doing it for
Still trying.
better at it.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
We're still in
if
season
you're
0,
here-
though, right?
Yeah.
Season 0.
Season 0.
Episode 26.
Yep. So, Kurt, where can people find us?
You know, they can find us in all sorts of places. They can find us at our website, pixelscandal.com, where you can get all sorts of interesting information about the show. You can see past episodes. You can get links to all of the places you can watch us live, or you can find links to our podcast. You can also email us at pixelscandal@gmail.com. If you want to follow us on social medias, you can do that with at Pixel Scandal on Twitter and Instagram. You can search Pixel Scandal on Facebook and, I don't know, a bunch of other places. MeWe's a place where they have that kind of crap. You can go there and you can see go live notifications, but mostly Twitter because that's the one I manage the most. And if you'd like to listen to this podcast as an audio format, you can do so by searching up Pixel Scandal on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, or any podcatcher of choice.
I think we decided we're going with Pod Turkey.
Pod
it
turkey.
is not a podcast.
Pod ham.
We are coining
don't-
the phrase right now, and
Yeah.
you're just going to have to get on that bus.
I don't know
It's just for November.
how it started, but I
Pod
mean,
turkey is different.
I'm in favor of anything other than podcatcher.
Okay, well.
Yeah.
Pod turkey covers that. I don't know if you know that.
Awesome. Yeah. Our spotlight topic later on in the show tonight is going to be games as a service. We're going to be talking about DLC and the life expectancy of the modern video games. So that'll be coming up a little bit later on. End of line, do we have any announcements?
Oh, we got lots of announcements. Sunday, we will be playing Fallout for our Pixel Scandal game night. We played
Yay.
Fallout 76. The beta is going on. The official launch is on November 14th, I believe, which is a Wednesday. So we're still hammering out the beta. We played a bit today. We'll be playing it tomorrow as well. We're having a good time. We've got a lot to talk about, good and bad, on our episode after the launch, which we'll be doing. We have a playthrough of We Were Here Too, which Handor and I did last week. We will be releasing episodically on our YouTube channel. We have episode 1 almost ready to go. So hopefully we'll have that up in the next couple days. So next Dungeon World game, November the 10th at 9 a.m. We'll be continuing our saga of hats. And we will be going to parties with very rich folks. And then we have the official 76 launch review on the 15th at 7 p.m. A little bit earlier than normal on that Thursday than our normal 8 p.m. But it'll be a special episode specifically to discuss the 76 launch, what our thoughts are. We'll have maybe some perk build suggestions and talk about our experiences.
It's bold of you to assume that I'm gonna stop playing the game long enough to go do a show.
Oh, you'll do a show.
Well, we can do it.
You have no
live from West
choice.
Virginia.
What the hell is a support 76 character gonna do without his party?
Bro, you know the reason I'm 4 levels behind in charisma is because I maxed out Lone Wanderer the other day.
I was gonna
course you
say,
did.
come on, end of line. You know it's got one card swap. and
No,
he's
yeah,
all
we're the ones that told him to do it. So yeah, we know.
Yeah, and because of that, I don't have, one of my primary healing abilities, which I mean I haven't got yet anyway, so it's not because of that, but
Well, I mean, I think the intention is for the review to not be a full episode long review. So, it'll be like the length of a break from the game rather than an hour of you having to be out of the game there, Oreztes.
maybe I'll just tab out and start working on my workshop while we're talking about it.
There you go. You can always host it from inside the game.
Well, that's what I said, live from West Virginia.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, cool. Well, we actually have a little bit of a giveaway planned for tonight. We're gonna try and break it up kind of throughout the episode here, do a few of them. So, Kurt, why don't you take it away with our first giveaway?
All right. So the first thing, if you want to be eligible for this, you need to type Moose Rock, MOOSEROCK in chat. So go ahead and type Moose Rock in chat. Yeah. and we'll get you some keys. We have very low viewers, so just type it in there.
There you go. And
But, if you get a
and
key,
if you-
start downloading now. The last day that they have announced officially is tomorrow. They're doing an 11 a.m. PST until 6 PST tomorrow.
Yeah, it's a long day
So,
tomorrow.
Just start downloading. It's like a 50 gig download. So
40.
And if you're lucky, you'll only have to download it once.
They fixed it.
So
Oh, jeez.
so
That's
I
not
have
even-
I have a feeling I know who's going to get this key. So if you're in chat, type right now. Type Moose Rock in chat. Otherwise, one person is going to get this key. Here we go.
One person's gonna get 18 keys.
Oh, we got 2. Oh no, you're a mod. You're not even going to be eligible.
you're not even eligible already.
Dude, you legit said if you're in chat, type Moose Rock. I'm just following directions.
yeah.
All right, here we go. I am going to click the button. Yo, Tomes. All right. So anybody in chat who wants a Fallout 76 beta key, type Moose Rock, MOOSEROCK.
I think we may have
is
enough
not
to
just
defend
sensitive.
about arbitrarily.
Just-
Here we go.
I think yeah.
We did
Everyone's
it.
gonna
And
get a
guess
key.
what? Look, you don't want it.
Oh wow, you went through all
We-
the trouble of setting
We
up the
got
bot
we
and
got to
everything.
beta test the giveaway bot anyway.
Wait, Bob. All right. Congratulations, Loki.
Dude,
Let me get you that key.
It's a good thing you're working on that now because I have so many Steam keys from bundles that I just have multiples of that I've tried to redeem.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I mean, we'll definitely, if we have anybody else interested in keys later
So
in the show.
we have many keys to give away. So if you know people that are interested, feel free to share the show out and get them in chat.
Yep,
And we'll do a couple more giveaways throughout the course of the show.
yep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Please,
So let's
please.
move on to what we are excited about. First and very most importantly, I think Kurt needs to take our first what we're excited about and announce it's the pug who
What the
is
hell?
he is snoring like crazy
Stop.
underneath me right now. I'm very sorry.
All right. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that was a lot of pug noise going on there. Sorry, guys.
That was scary.
But Kurt, why don't you make the first big announcement, excited thing here that's on our list for tonight?
Oh my God. Can you prompt me? Because I've been thinking about Nightbot and keys.
Are you not looking at the doc?
I am
Because
now.
we have a really awesome new addition to our show.
Professional.
that
That's how I
we've
would describe us.
We're so good at this.
We've been working on planning. We've been talking to
Are we
all of
talking
our
about the
wonderful
thing I
friends.
think we're talking about?
It's the first thing on the list there under what we're excited about. It's the launch of our new
All
our
right.
new series.
So in the coming months, we will be introducing a guest GM actual play series called Paper Scandal Side Quests.
Woohoo!
We have several GMs locked in to run games for us. I
exciting.
think
Our first one.
Kadave
from the Happy Jacks podcast.
From Happy Jacks is our numero uno.
Our first side quest GM.
Yeah, he's gonna run a game of Tales
from the Loop on December 1st.
On December 1st at 9 a.m. So that's Saturday, December 1st, 9 a.m.
That's a great announcement there, Kurt.
Y'all can come hang out. So yeah, if you're interested in seeing guest GM actual plays, we are starting that up. We're going to be doing them about monthly. We've actually got 2 in December, one on the 1st and one on the 29th. The one on the 29th will be, is it the 29th? Do I have the date right?
What?
Before I say what it is the date right?
The 29th?
Of December?
Yeah.
That's the right date. We're going to be, we'll have Jason Mills will be here to run Demigods.
Yeah.
So we're all super excited about that. And then the following month, we will begin the new year with Dave Kazay running Dead Letters, which is Night's Black Agents game. So I'm super excited. We've got a bunch of awesome GMs lined up, and so pick the Paper Scandal side quests.
Yes.
Super cool. That's so cool.
Lots of guest GMs. That's very exciting. I would also like to point out to Kurt that our bot in chat is being really mean to Lokio.
Yeah, I don't know what
you may want to take a look at what it like deleted a message and like banned him for 5 seconds. Like it is.
Our Nightbot, stop.
Our bot is new. It doesn't have the plastic peeled off yet, and we haven't really programmed her yet.
What is happening?
I know.
We'll take care of that.
Okay.
Thomas, we're
we are very sorry, Loki.
Did I at least let you say that?
Don't worry, guys. I got this. I just
I
just timed out Nightbot.
Oh, here, wait. I can click them and undelete the messages. Why is it deleting your messages?
Yeah, I don't know. It said something about him writing in all caps, and then.
Don't worry, I got this. I'm gonna figure it out.
Tomes can say "fuck you, chatbot," and it's fine. So, not really sure.
Let me disable excess caps. Let me just disable that one first.
All right.
Excess emotes disabled.
Let's move on.
Okay, so anyway, moving on. Our big, what we're excited about announcement is the addition of side quests to our channel here, and fun things will be coming as of December 1st. So yeah.
Yep.
So the next thing that we're excited about is something I'm excited about. So Watership Down, the book by Richard Adams, is literally like one of my most favorite books of all time. Kurt bought me like a first edition copy of it as a gift. Like I love rabbits more than I can possibly express here. And the cartoon, the original cartoon, was not great. And a little traumatizing to children who thought they were watching like a cute bunny movie. But what was announced this last week is Netflix and BBC are coming together to make a 2-part full-length feature of Watership Down that's going to be coming out in December. It's going to be released on the BBC streaming platform and on BBC itself, and also on Netflix. So it's going to be kind of everywhere, and I'm like crazy excited. Bunnies everywhere.
Perfectly
so much.
Ready to fuck up another generation of children.
Yep, absolutely. Super ready to fuck up a bunch of kids.
Yeah,
but yes.
I've never seen the old show or the cartoon or read the books or anything. So every time you talk about it, I'm like, how does Watership Down apply to rabbits? I just can't wrap my head around how a story about bunnies could have anything to do with water, ships, or going down.
I feel like your only reference for Watership Down is playing Mook's the Warren game at Strategicon, where we got to play.
Well.
Yeah.
You guys, you know what, motherfuckers? I am gonna sit down and force you all to read this book, or at the very least, watch the Netflix special.
There is a movie of it.
What you're telling me is a bunch of bunnies torture a little girl and then rip her dad's throat out. That's what the movie's about, basically.
That's how
what
our story went.
I mean, that's how our story went.
Yeah, that's how that GURPS game sure as hell went. That shit got gruesome. Running around with a hawk skull on.
Yeah. Yeah. You
What
know,
the fuck
the,
is awesome,
the
man.
actual Watership Down book is pretty violent and it's pretty dark. So I mean, no, they don't rip the throats out of any little girls, but it is definitely a pretty dark book with a bunch of bunnies in it. So I'm very excited for this release. I'm really hoping it's going to be great, and I will definitely talk about it in December when it comes out. So.
Yeah, that should be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So, Nightson, what do you got going on next for our next what we're excited about?
So I, like many, have at least passively been following the BlizzCon announcements, and I'm going to choose to ignore the Diablo Diablo Immortal, because that just makes me sad on way
I'm
too
not.
many levels.
I'm not. We're gonna rip this thing a new one.
And it'll probably fall into some of our spotlight topic later.
Yeah, that's kind of why we think you should probably wait. on that part.
But the thing I am excited about is Warcraft 3 is getting a remastered edition, and I am super stoked because I love Warcraft 3. I spent way too many of my high school hours playing it, probably more than should be admitted in any kind of company.
But you know what?
Fair
I have a
enough.
question for you, though. I have one question for you. How much did you also love Baldur's Gate, and how many times have you gone back to play Baldur's Gate remastered?
Well, in fairness, I'm more interested in owning it than actually playing it.
Well, I can't argue with that.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Look at Nightbot.
stop
just
it, Nightbot.
Phantoms.
Okay, someone needs to
Yes.
stop Nightbot.
Yeah,
Well,
Nightbot is
Tomes did,
just.
I'm
Tomes
so
did ask for it.
Tomes was, I think he's instigating. I think he's trying to get banned.
He,
Well,
he
I can
intentionally
turn that off.
posted a link.
Hang on, let me see if I can
Please
figure out
get
how to
rid
turn that off.
Well,
Yeah.
all right. And I'll
My question is, are they going to allow add-on support for Warcraft 3 remade? And if they're going to allow Warcraft 3 add-ons, is someone going to build Dota
Dota?
in Warcraft 3 remastered?
Yeah, we're
well,
gonna
there's
have
already Dota in
remastered.
StarCraft too.
I know, but I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
is someone going to rebuild it, like, the original again in the Warcraft 3 add-on? I hope they do the tower defense add-on at least. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Now, honestly, more than anything, I am just looking for a way to have a copy of that game digitally, so I just don't have to worry about trying to find my CD key after.
What's
Yeah.
funny
Yeah.
is they're doing this remastered and they just released a content patch for Warcraft 3, like literally 2 weeks
Well,
ago.
that's obviously
Yeah.
why they did it, because they went and apparently, and I was watching one of my old favorite professional esport Warcraft 3 players. He went crazy posting some stuff to YouTube, and it really shook up the meta. Like, it did some crazy things. So I'm kind of excited to get back in there and play around with it, or just ignore it and just have it as another icon on my BattleNet launcher.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's going to
sad but
dodge the
true.
conversation, and we shouldn't get into too much because it'll be a big game. But
Yeah.
Diablo 2 remastered, it's not happening, or at least they didn't mention anything. Diablo 4 not mentioned, so it's possibly happening, but no word of it. They decided to contract another company and outsource a mobile Diablo game, which is essentially a reskin of an already existing game in China that this company has already made. And I don't think we need to say much more than to say, go check out the trailer release on YouTube. Blizzard apparently has posted it, taken it down, reposted it 3 times now, and on the 3rd time it has something like 27,000 likes and 480,000 dislikes.
Yeah.
It is on its way
Fans
to being the
are
quickest,
enraged.
most disliked video on YouTube since the Battlefield?
Battlefield.
one?
It makes
Battlefield
Battlefield.
5. No.
Yeah.
Come on. What about
Or Battlefront.
Friday?
Battlefront.
No, Battlefield 5 beat it.
Gotta.
I want to
Rebecca
say.
Black.
Please
Rebecca
don't
Black.
sing that.
Rebecca Black was the most hated video on YouTube.
If we get a copyright strike because you're singing Friday, you're out of the group.
we will not get.
You're out of the band.
Well,
So,
But-
no. First of all, my singing is so off key that we would never get copyright strike.
It won't even trigger it.
No, he gets copyright strikes against the complete other song. Completely.
Yeah. AC/DC Friday
Yeah.
What I think is funny is I had a weird audio problem right as you started to sing, and I missed all of your singing, and then it came back as they were giving you shit about singing. Missed the whole thing, which was awesome.
I was
But real
saying that
quick-
Black Friday was the most hated video in YouTube history.
Real quick though, about BlizzCon, I just wanted to point out that they did announce that World of Warcraft Classic will be included in your regular Warcraft subscription when that comes out.
Yeah.
So if anybody
Vanilla?
was looking forward, if anybody was looking
I
forward
did
to
see that.
grinding,
I saw that.
making
I
their
was
eyes
actually
bleed,
a little
free.
surprised by that. To be perfectly honest,
Yeah,
I
I was too.
was expecting a little add-on cost to be able to add it, like $2 or something.
90% of people are going to install Warcraft Classic. They're going to pay it for
Yeah.
play it for 4 hours. They're going to realize that they can't stand not having the quality of life and how slow the grind of the game is. They're going to stop playing it, and then Blizzard's going to hope to gosh
I
that
disagree.
people are going to hope to gosh that most of their community are going to say, "Oh, we don't have it so bad in live, guys."
No, I disagree totally. I have so many hardcore friends that are still playing vanilla to this day, regardless of the expansion.
No. You have friends that are playing it. Those people are already playing the game.
Yeah.
For someone who has fond memories of how amazing it was, to go back and go, wait, I'm a paladin and I don't get to push a button till level 4? Okay.
Yeah,
sure.
I'm talking about the community of current live Warcraft players. I'm not talking about the people that are already invested in a classic custom server, like an emulated server. Those people will probably move over, but
Oh, for sure. There's going to be a hardcore dedicated base that is going to be there forever.
it will be a very small percent of those non-nostalgic. Dude, you're talking to a person who's been playing EverQuest Project 9099 for like a million years.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I know we're that kind of person, but we are the exception, not the rule.
Like the only reason I would ever even slightly consider going to play Classic WoW is if your gear that you got on Classic was account bound for transmog on the live servers, because that is the only way I would play a warrior. That is the only way you will ever get the dreadnought set from Nax. From
That
Classic
is actually really interesting. I wonder if
Yeah.
anyone's talked to them about that.
I mean, it's definitely something they could handle.
Yeah. It'd be interesting because it's account bound anyway. So
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Are you talking about tier 1.5?
No, it's like
Well, like-
tier
Tier
2 or 3 or so.
Tier
Yeah,
Yeah,
tier 3.
yeah. Oh, like the
okay.
dread. You can't get it in the game anymore.
Yeah.
Like it's
The
a
only way is
no.
black market auction house.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1.5 was
1.5 was a Skolomats set, the
Yes.
the Ubers, the Upper Blackrock,
Yes,
the
doesn't
Warlock,
exist.
it was the Shadowcraft
Shadow.
stuff.
Someone needs to drop a note to Blizzard after we get off the stream and say, "Hey, have you guys considered this might be a boon for you guys if you allowed the transmog?" All
If
right.
anybody knows anyone at Blizzard,
I mean, we know a few people.
We knew a couple of people at Blizzard, actually.
I was gonna say,
Sorry.
I knew a few, but they probably all killed themselves after that Diablo. one.
I'm sorry. I know a few people at Activision. That's what I meant to say.
Oh shit.
I mean, if we really want
I'll
this to
drink
happen,
to
I could
the
send a
down.
strongly written email to Turbine.
Blizzard is
moving
dead.
right along here. What?
Yeah, moving
I see
along,
something
good to
else
think it.
here on Twitch Prime this month. Who's excited about this?
Yeah. So
I'm looking
for
at you, Nightson.
Yeah. For anyone who is a Twitch Prime member, which anyone who has Amazon Prime is already, you can get Overcooked, the first game, for free just by clicking the top right-hand corner of your screen right now and going claim and finding it and hitting claim.
I'm very excited.
and I
if
mean,
you
if you have Twitch
click
Prime
submit.
and you're up there already,
Yeah.
you feel free to subscribe to this channel with your free subscription from Twitch Prime.
Yeah, guys.
Subtle.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Throw
so
it on
very
over there.
Such a horror.
But yes, Overcooked is absolutely amazing, and I've been trying to con these folks into playing it. Unfortunately, it is couch co-op only, so you have to go through some very interesting hoops in order to play it online.
Let's say
Yes.
it's less conning and more like trying to figure out.
The logistics of it.
Yeah, not have who's gonna run.
Yeah. What's the program that we use? Plex or something?
We've tried Parsec.
Hamachi.
Hamachi.
Well, Hamachi
Parsec
doesn't work at all
doesn't
because
work.
Hamachi is only for local land. This is purely a couch co-op game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
About Tungle.
Yeah.
Well, the connectivity is not
yeah.
the issue. It's the controls. It's the pass-through
Yeah.
of controls.
Parsec should do it, but
Parsec's
I think
the one that everyone
didn't.
uses.
Why
Well, we will definitely figure out how to make that work and play some Overcooked on the stream here.
Yeah.
But let's move on to what we played this week, guys. I know that End of Line and I, thanks to End of Line,
Nasty
I bought the Call of Cthulhu game and started playing that today.
I was telling Gigett, I'll just share it on Steam, and you won't have to. Already bought it.
Well,
She
I
heard
like the
Cthulhu.
genre,
Yeah.
and I want to support it so that they make
Oh,
more
yeah.
games like it. So
Yeah.
and the little bit I got to play today was super good. Yeah.
It's fun. It's what I want it to be.
Yep.
So you
Yep,
guys
definitely.
have both played that then?
Yep. It's
Yeah.
it's an
I just-
investigative
Yeah.
Adventure
adventure kind of occultist horror scary
Mm-hmm.
spooky.
Which
Kinda
unfortunately was didn't it only come out like after Halloween or?
October 30th.
Oh, okay, it did come out before,
Tuesday.
but not
Yeah.
early enough for us to.
I
use
pre-ordered
for
it, but I only
content.
got to install it last night. I was like, "Oh, there's no Fallout 76 tonight,"
Yeah,
and
the
I was
Fall-
working at Adobe Premiere for like 3 hours. So I was like, "I'm gonna go install that."
Yeah. Yeah. And the
Yeah.
line had some shit to do. 'cause
Well,
he got-
between Fallout 76, working in Premiere a bit, and then going and seeing Bohemian Rhapsody last night, you've been a little busy
so
this
good.
week.
Yeah.
Oh
So-
shit!
so-
you got
What?
wait. End of Line went and you went and seen that Bohemian Rhapsody?
Yeah,
We went and saw Bohemian
saw
Rhapsody
it
last
I
night.
watched it last night.
It was
That's
super
awesome.
good. It was very
Is it?
good.
Yeah,
I'm not
That's good.
I'm not gonna say anything other than it was
Right,
it was
right.
a very enjoyable movie, and it was very
Good.
satisfying because they played a lot of the Queen music. So you didn't end up coming out going, oh, but they didn't play this song or that song. Like you felt very satisfied with the Queen
But-
songs that they
Yeah.
played.
They did do
I
a
was
really
thinking-
amazing twist at the end. They have him live.
Okay, interesting. I'm my biggest fear is I really want them to capture the genius that is Freddie Mercury.
Oh, they did a very good
They did a
job.
very good
they
job.
they focused on all the right parts.
Yep.
It was a really good film.
Cool.
So not to go into too much detail because we're gonna do an entire episode on Fallout 76. But how is the beta going this week, guys? I heard there was some difficulty with the launcher.
There's some good and some bad.
It is both an amazing game and one of the worst console ports I have ever played.
Yeah,
Mm.
I'll agree.
Its
100%.
warts are very visible. That PC did not get taken good care of.
Yeah.
However, with how vehemently loud the PC community has been over the last week, I have a feeling that they are very quickly going, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Let's remedy this. Plus, they had talked previously about allowing some mod support, which historically has been
Yeah.
Bethesda's best way of fixing their games, allowing
Well-
their players to do it for them.
Yeah, that is exactly the Bethesda way. They have their entire fan base fix their game for them, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very first download to get is the Curvier Body mod. I don't know when that's gonna come out, but that's everybody's #1 download right there. If you look at Planet Nexus.
Yep.
Don't go Google that.
What?
Yep.
Yeah, but I mean, my biggest issues are the controls. Well, okay,
Yeah.
I have two big issues. #1 was the controls. I've kind of gotten used to that. #2 is the ridiculous carry weight. That is my biggest complaint about the game.
I will
You
be
should've
honest.
rolled charisma. What?
I will be honest. After like we had a miserable time Thursday. Thursday was, oh my god, we can't carry anything. We are so frustrated. By the end of the night, we were just like, okay, what are we doing? I will say today, like we spent that 40 minutes right from the jump, basically in inventory management, getting our shit cleaned up, knowing what we know now of all that food and water is really heavy.
Mm.
Yeah.
I was able to drop my weight to a reasonable amount before we even set out.
Yeah.
And there was only like 2 individual times in the entire day, like the 4 hours we played, that I even noticed encumbrant today. So
Yeah, like my solution to that problem was like a lot of people would be like, "Oh man, I'm so way down. I got to carry all this stuff. Let me increase my strength, or let me take pack rat, or let me take this perk that reduces the weight of the stuff that I carry the most." But I play support, so most of what I carry is like food and stems. So I was like, most people would be like, let me increase my carry weight. My solution was, I'm going to take all this food and throw it on the floor and take the cannibalize perk. So I just eat dead bodies.
It's
And I don't have
working
to
well.
carry food anymore.
I mean,
yeah, I don't have to carry
it sounds like you're a problem solver.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is, okay, so to a real quick explanation.
I took a
Everybody,
problem and I turned it into a solution.
yeah. Everybody that watches the show knows that there is a larger percentage of this cast that is West Coast and a smaller percentage of the cast that is East Coast.
You.
It just so happens that it just so happens that the West Coast group grouped up in a 4-man group and ran in their Fallout 76 group.
Yep.
And then there was another 4-man group from all the East Coasters. We all ran together, which is funny to me because your guys' entire problem was like food, accessories, and all this stuff. Our problem was we were all carrying too many weapons. We were all carrying I was carrying I don't know, 42 pistols.
That's too many pistols.
Many pistols.
Trying to be a gunslinger, and
You can reload. You don't have to just empty it on the floor.
yeah,
Just throw the pistols on the ground, carry bullets.
Yeah. Reaper is not a viable character class in Fallout 76.
and that's what.
Backup pistols.
So it was hilarious to me because hearing you guys say that, we figured out late Thursday, there was no reason for our charisma character to be carrying, 3 different melees, three different pistols, 3 different snipers, and 3 different shotguns, and every single person doing the same thing.
Well, in fairness, that was something that we realized on Tuesday. We picked that up. Yeah, we all were carrying probably 3 weapons. Keep open up our options.
Yeah.
And then we realized this is not the slightest bit viable. So I right now I have a rifle with a scope and a rifle without a scope. That's it.
So my thing is I cut it down to which ammo do I run out of, and then the ammo that I run out of, I make sure to carry another ammo type pistol. Everything else gets deleted.
I think all of this stuff sounds great, and we will definitely go into more detail. No, you're fine. I mean, we're in the what did we play recently? So that was Fallout. But we're definitely going to do an entire episode right after the launch on the 15th, where we go into much more detail about the game and tips and tricks and all that kind of stuff. So why don't we go ahead and have a giveaway now? Kurt, why don't you take it away?
All right, everybody. So if you're hanging out in chat, all you need to do is type Moose Rock, MOOSEROCK in chat. It is not case sensitive. Type that in there, and then we are going to roll. I'm going to give away, I'm going to give away up to 5 keys. So if up to 5 of you type Moose Rock in there, you just got keys. Just type Moose Rock.
There you go. And throw us a follow for the channel, which is super awesome sauce.
That's not how you spell it, Oreztes.
Yeah, I think you've got a little error there in your.
I think that was a Freudian slip.
All right, I'm gonna give everybody one last chance. Type Moose Rock, and then we're gonna roll this thing 5 times. All right, who's ready?
And hopefully Nightbot doesn't start eating our guests.
I know, man.
Everyone, Nightbot.
Nightbot is just.
I feel like, let me see. There's 1, 2,
Nightbot is the worst. All
3,
right.
4. There's 4 actual legit submissions. So congrats.
All right. Well, while he's doing, he's taking care of the admin. Cloaked, we actually do a monthly tabletop game currently called Dungeon World. It's
our Paper Scandal series.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And we also are starting a brand new series with a host of guest GMs.
Do the thing, Kurt.
Called Side Quest. All right, here we go. I'm going to roll something. All right. Broman. Oh, Yoshi, I can't say your username, but you get a key.
Thanks for the follow, Flux.
Bromdefusion.
Yeah. Toads. All
Bromdefusion.
right, let's do another one. Who else needs one? And roll it. Hey, I thought. See, all right. Well, see, Sith Lord got one. He said he didn't need one. I don't know what happened.
Stop.
That's fine.
Don't do it. All right, here we go. We're gonna roll it again.
I mean, I feel like there were only.
I feel like it's broken now.
I feel like we only had 4 people who said they wanted them anyway.
All right,
so...
you know what? I'm just gonna give everybody who typed Moose Rock one.
Yeah.
Everyone gets a key.
Yeah.
There we go.
Everybody's awesome.
professionals.
You're all getting
Yeah.
and I'm gonna go back and find all the Moose Rocks and give
Cloaked
you stuff.
Tomes, Flux
Yeah.
Priest,
while
and
5
Yoshi.
keys.
All of you guys
Yeah.
get those keys. So.
5 keys down, 9 to go. Let the confusion continue.
Oh.
While he's doing.
Oh,
while
and
he's
we've got
doing that-
Night Soldier just jumped in with a Moose Rock there.
All right, well we'll get you a key too.
You're all winners on this channel! Yay!
Oprah,
Everyone's a
but not.
winner. I know it is like Oprah.
Go download the game after you get your key. It's a big
Yes.
download. Tomorrow, the beta starts at 2 p.m. 11 a.m.
11 a.m.
11 a.m. Pacific. The game
2
is
p.m.
great.
Eastern.
It's not without issues. It is in beta, but it is absolutely worth playing. You will enjoy yourself.
Thank
If
you
you
very
just
much, Paul.
popped in for a key, but you are interested in Fallout 76, we'll be doing a recap episode after the launch on the 15th. So definitely come back and watch that episode, and maybe stay and follow the channel if you like what we have to say.
Can
Cloaked is on 1 gigabit symmetrical internet access. He does not get a key. He does not get a key out of spite.
Wait, did Flux Priest get their?
We take
Flux
that
Priest
back.
Get their key? No, I have not given Flux Priest their key. We're gonna give
Flux
you all
Priest
your
gets no
keys.
key.
I got this.
Do
All
we?
right, cool. So let's move on to our spotlight topic for the day.
I have a just real quick.
Oh, I'm sorry,
question.
Handor. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's
I
fine.
do.
End of line.
What?
This is the end of
What?
the line.
What?
You heard me. All right, listen.
Oh,
So
is that
Cloaked,
Wait, Kurt, how many keys do we have left after that?
Hold on, I'm still giving out
He's
keys.
still
I think
PMing
we
them.
might still have
Yeah.
a few more keys. So if you
Well,
haven't gotten a key yet, hang out till the end, and whatever we have left, we will do one last giveaway at the very end of the
one
show.
last one at
Okay?
the end if you haven't gotten one.
Toss us a follow and hang out, guys. We got more.
Yeah, and we're
Yeah.
only going for about 20 more minutes. So at the end
you
of the
only
show,
have to
if you
suffer
haven't,
for a short amount of time.
yeah,
So I'm asking on behalf of Cloaked, because Cloaked had
Yes.
asked about, do we stream anything else, D&D related? How much are we permitted to say about the ongoings and futures of
Well, we did announce-
prospectory of Pixel Scandal and
well, we did
Tabletop and
announce
so on.
side quests, our guest GM
of course
series.
yes, I was here for that. Thank you,
Yes.
Gigett.
And
Yeah.
then the second Saturday of every month, we run whatever our long-standing game is. Right now, it's Dungeon World.
Yeah. Yes, of course.
Kurt has let us know that probably 4 or 5 months from now, we'll be switching to something new. But what did you have to announce there, Handor?
Well, I was just thinking about that whole thing about,
We're not. I don't think we're ready for that announcement yet. I think I know what
Fine.
you're talking about.
That's what I was asking. That's what I'm asking.
We're working
There's
on that,
more
though.
things to come, guys, because
Yes.
we're working on more exciting things for Pixel Scandal.
Big things to come, Cloaked. Just want to tell you
Yes.
that. Big things to come.
More
We're-
tabletop. We're adding
we're-
lots more tabletop stuff. So
We're like Lionel Richie. We're making moves. All right.
all right. So our spotlight topic tonight, Nightson, would you like to take it away?
So, a handful of weeks ago, I caught Endo talking to one of our other community members about the very lackluster Diablo season that had just been announced. And it came to me, it was a very interesting thing to say that a game that's 6 years old, it has a content patch that isn't living up to my expectations in comparison to how things were, say, 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it would just be interesting to just kind of go over where we've kind of come and where we are now to the development cycle and the concept of games as a service in general.
Right.
So for anyone who's not familiar, games as a service is kind of marketing speech now for an idea where if anyone's been playing games for 10 years, 15 years, especially anyone in the console market, you went to the store, you bought your Super Mario Brothers cart, you brought it home, that was it. That was your transaction.
Yep.
No day
I
one
believe
patch.
it was called Mario Kart, not Super Mario Brothers Kart.
Well, I was talking about the cartridge.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
GAAS.
With the
Games
C,
as a
not a
service.
K.
Gas.
Yes.
People in the PC market are we're a little bit more used to this. As even early on we had expansions and whatnot that required the base game to play. So there was always that quote unquote DLC, even if it wasn't really framed that way. It was still a box you went to the store and you had to own the base game, that kind of thing. But it really wasn't until MMOs came around that you had content patches for games. And so taking that a step further, and this I want to say the first one that I can remember is the horse armor for Skyrim, or no, it's not Skyrim, Oblivion.
Morrowind. Oh.
Yeah.
Oblivion horse armor, in which Bethesda, we're talking about them all night, offered the opportunity for you to spend a couple of your dollary dues, and
Or 25.
I think it was $5 to outfit your custom horse in shiny, pretty armor. And purely a cosmetic effect, no in-game effect, no content really aside from that. And it kind of went beyond that. So as things are now, rather than being a one-time deal where you go to the store, buy your cart, and you're done, the companies are encouraged to give you a reason to keep playing their game, to keep coming back, keep buying new content, new cosmetics, new things, to keep playing their game day in, day out for all of time in some cases.
Yeah.
Like GTA 5 has been up for the multiplayer's been up for almost 2 years now. No, not as a slight. I'm just saying it's been around. Like this game that a game series that's historically been single player only.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, go ahead.
The transition, you went from buying a game and all content releases after that, if you were playing on a PC or a computer game, whatever, were always free, and they were always pretty much available on the internet, and there was always third-party content made for them. Whereas console games, you got your game, there was of course never a patch or anything like that, and it was always just you released the game, you maybe patched it if it was PC, but you would just get a sequel, and that was kind of the end of it. There were no like add-on games and stuff like that. The first time I ever remember downloading extra content for a game was Unreal Tournament, I think. Was the first game that actually had like significant content patches where they added new maps and things like that. And then I remember that I'm sure I'm wrong about this, but the first game I ever remember doing a subscription-based model was actually Ultima Online, I think. Was the first game I ever remember there being an actual month-to-month subscription to play on an online service, which was kind of amazing and incredible at the time. I remember the look on my parents' face and was like, I need your credit card. Like, no, you don't. Yeah, but and that model is still to this day. We still have buy to play, own your game, and pay subscription. But there's so many different iterations of that now that are successful and unsuccessful.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, look at every single app that's accessible through Android or iPhone. That's all. It's 99% pay to play.
Yeah.
Or buy this, buy that.
Well, and that's where we get into like the difference between like a subscription-based thing or season passes, and then those microtransactions, right? Where you're buying the horse armor, or you're buying the whatever in the little mobile game, or all those little tiny microtransactions that you can do that keep paying for a game that you either already paid for or you're playing for free, and those microtransactions or that the DLC, the downloadable content, is the way that the company's still making money on their game that they released however many years ago.
Let's talk about microtransactions.
Well, real quick, somebody please correct me if I'm wrong. I remember.
You're wrong.
Okay.
How are you going to correct them?
Be more right.
Wasn't there some
at some point, yes.
Some of the Call of Duty, some of the early Call of Duty, not Call of Duty 4. I want to say maybe when they first went to Black Ops, there was a lot of that, like when they started going into that.
Like loot boxes?
Yeah, the loot box bullshit, all that stuff. Yeah. I feel like maybe Black Ops. Did they start that?
I don't think any of us
in
played
Black
that.
Ops? No, Nightson played because we did the zombie thing.
Okay.
But no, the loot boxes. Oh man, the first loot box.
Not even loot boxes. I'm talking about expansions, like Didn't we have to pay to do the zombie thing?
I don't think so.
No, I believe Zombies in Black Ops actually was a paid.
Yeah, I think so.
Content patch.
Yeah.
I played the zombie thing with you guys too, and I didn't have to pay anything for that.
No,
It might have been.
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Anyways,
It
well,
might have been gifted to you.
yeah, some games will release
I-
with content that is part of the original game release. And let's give an example of content that exists on the game as DLC that came packaged in the game. Because originally, let's understand something. Originally, DLC stood for content that you could buy after the game's release. It was supplementary content that wasn't considered part of the original package.
Right.
Then Capcom decided to fuck everything up and create and sell DLC that existed already on the disc. They did this with
Street Fighter.
Yeah, it was Street Fighter.
Street Fighter 5 has that for sure.
It was Street Fighter 4, I think, was the original one that did this. And people data mined the game, which us nerds do,
Happens.
and found out,
Oh,
hey, Capcom, you're saying that this is DLC, as in this is supplementary content that you're making after the release, but it's already all on the disc, and people were really pissed off because that's not really DLC at that point. So
Yeah. Well, so it sounds like initially what happened is the discussion of Diablo 3 is what kind of fired you guys up about downloadable content and where games are going. So can you elaborate a little more on where that frustration was coming from?
So, we've kind of had a mixed relationship with Diablo 3. Most of us here have played it to some capacity. I think Handor and I have probably played a lot more than anyone else. And we've played a few of the seasons. We've had a good time. I'm very critical of Diablo 3. It's a lot better now than it was on launch, and it's had some growing pains. So they keep having these seasons every now and again. And I should disclaim, I play a lot of Path of Exile, so I'm hypercritical with Diablo 3.
Yes.
For that reason. So I play Path of Exile, which is another free-to-play game where they make their money through microtransactions that are largely cosmetic and quality of life, but there's no pay to win of any source in Path of Exile. It's pay to quality of life, and it's pay for cosmetics. And that model works great for them, and they have a very good, strong community. So that's the competitor for Diablo 3, who was a AAA studio, Blizzard, Activision, or Activision Blizzard now, who have been doing this a really long time and have, very talented people on their staff. So they released these seasons where Path of Exile has very large-scale engine changes to the system, very interesting play mechanics that change from season to season. They're very creative, and it's very large-scale changes. And every season is very different than the one before it, and it's very exciting, usually. So some are better than others, of course. So Diablo 3 has their seasons too. And the big gift for the community is more goblins. It's literally a fucking value on a script somewhere on a server that changes from a 0 to a 3, and that is the big marketing, hey guys, come play my season because I changed the 0 to a fucking 3 on a script, so come play it because we have more goddamn goblins. Like, it's fucking appalling. It's absolutely appalling. It doesn't take that much effort. Grinding Gear Games does not have a large amount of employees, and Blizzard does, and that's how they sustain it. And I think this is why Diablo people are so frustrated with this Diablo mobile game thing, is because they're like, we're gonna bide our time. We understand they're not putting the resources towards this game anymore because it's old, like Nightson said. But surely you could do better, but it's okay because we know you guys are working on something bigger and better for us. And then let me poop on your face with this bullshit mobile game reskin from China. That's why everyone's so infuriated, is because it was, I was pissed off about this. And the last season was just as silly. It was absolutely stupid. It was like, you get double caches for bounties. It's like, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
So obviously there's problems with this type of games as a service type thing. But what are some of the advantages of this style of game?
Well, one of the key things from a development standpoint is it's a lot now in today's market. It's a lot easier to justify to your investors that you are going to keep money coming in even after the box sales, because the game is basically, it will sell for a week, 2 weeks, and then it's garbage. Like, you look at the more recent, the newest Tomb Raider game that came out, huge AAA game.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it, but they were forced to put like a $20 cut sale 1 month after their go live because they had to compete against all these other titans at the same time.
Yeah.
Their only way to start recouping some of the money they spent on this.
And that's
So-
not representative of the quality of the game either, because it's an incredible game.
But sometimes
even-
it can be
even-
representative of the quality of the game. Look at Battle for Azeroth.
It can.
Yeah.
It sure can.
Even the
and-
movie that they released was phenomenal.
And then beyond that, one of the big things about how development works for these studios is you spend 2 years, 3 years making a game, and then you ship that game. Then what happens to those people? All your
Right.
developers. For bigger studios, you shuffle them off to a new product or project. For smaller studios, you may have to downsize or lay off a lot of your workers until you get a new IP or something else
Right.
to work on. DLC allows you to have those people keep working, but especially in that time between, because from the time a game is done to the time it hits Walmart can be anywhere from two weeks to 2 months.
Yeah.
And why not have those people who already know the tools, already know how to design your game?
Yeah.
Why not have them build DLC and get some money out of it and actually keep these people employed and happy and going?
So that's kind of the advantage from like the developer side, but what are some of the things for us as the consumers like that we see as being an advantage?
Sometimes game releases in a series can take years. Game development is an arduous process. It takes a lot of people, and sometimes there's 2, sometimes 3 years in between a release, like a complete titled release. DLC is a good way for you to kind of save your audience and keep them interested and tied to the storyline and tied to the intellectual property, so that 3 years doesn't feel like 3 years. I think that's a big
Right.
advantage. Like if you release a good content patch, I think I'm sorry, I forget the game. It's CD Red. The
Witcher,
the
CD
Witcher, the
Projekt
Witcher
Red.
series. That's an example of a company
Oh.
who is very careful with their IP, and they release content at a very good enough pacing. And more importantly, the content is significant. It's not very short, small stories. It's a significant content pack, so you feel like you're getting your money's worth until the next big series comes out. And their games take a while to come out. I mean, Cyberpunk, I think, has been in development for like 5 years. And we're looking at maybe a 2020 release for that. So, Witcher 3 has a ton of content in it.
Yeah.
Well,
And while we're talking costs, it keeps costs down for us consumers.
It's true.
AAA games are not $60 anymore. They can't be made for $60 anymore.
It's
And
hard.
so they have the choice between raising the cost to $80, $100 for a box, which will never sell, or finding alternate revenue streams. And this one allows them essentially to crowdsource that extra $20 a box to the people who want to spend that money. So for you and me who are like, you know what, I really don't need my horse armor or that
You know
extra
what?
skin or extra skin for Timo, I will let
definitely need that Timo skin.
I will let
I feel
Gigett.
like I'm being personally attacked right now.
yeah, but then I feel like that kind of gives them a like an entryway or a leeway or an excuse to say, okay, well, this is all content, like what Capcom was doing. This is all content that's done and ready to go and ready to ship right now. But if we don't give it to them, we can sell them a season pass, and they can
Right.
get this content that's already done later for more money.
Right.
And unfortunately, that is one of the darker sides of it.
So
I
what do you-
just
Go ahead, sorry.
I was just gonna say I just realized somebody that nailed this. I think purely coincidentally.
Hello
is
Kitty
Rocket.
Island Adventure. I agree.
I can't wait for the next content patch.
Where's my sequel?
Let him
Rocket-
finish.
Rocket League did this, like I said, coincidentally, almost exclusively, perfectly. They introduced, for some reason, a loot box. You know, a loot crate that the 15 matches you played in Rocket League, you got a crate. In order to open that crate, you need to buy a key, and to buy a single key, it was $1. You wanted to buy 20 keys, it was, $15, whatever. I don't know why with all these other games that was gimmicky. It was bullshit, and everybody called that out. and I understood it. I understood why that happened. I understood why people are trashing games that like that. You know, like the later Call of Duties.
It's gambling.
It is gambling. But the thing is, with Rocket League, it's so fucking fun, and you feel like you've invested this money, and you feel like you're having such a blast playing.
Yeah, Handor, gambling is fun for a lot of people.
Not
Well,
for
I
me.
mean, that was
And children.
I know.
Like when
Well,
I'm
that was-
playing Neverwinter or Guild Wars and I get a chest in my inventory, I immediately get rid of it. I just throw it on the floor. It's like I don't care what's in
I don't
this
see
box.
any
I
reason
like
for you
loot
guys.
boxes.
I don't see any reason for you guys to be assholes about it. I'm just saying Rocket League did it
No.
successfully.
Here's the thing. Overwatch did it too.
So,
I'm not gonna
fuck
say I
off.
didn't enjoy popping those chests. They're fun as hell. I love the feeling. But that's a human nature response. But let's be
Sure,
honest.
yeah.
That is a company.
Fortnite has loot llamas. Like every
Yeah.
every game
Rocket League-
has their.
Let's
You
make.
you have to reach that like Gigett. What is that the chemical that's released in the brain that makes you happy?
Serotonin.
Serotonin. You have to reach that as a game. You have to reach that point of serotonin level to where you feel like I need to pay $5 for these.
That
keys.
is exploitive as fuck, though. It is a company exploiting you for your money. I know it feels good. It's meant to feel good, but you're being exploited.
Well,
Yeah,
and I
don't
think
think
this.
so.
I think this goes back to talking about where it was executed poorly and where it's executed well. And I think that's going to be like a personal feeling, right? In what some places, like for you, Handor, for in that situation, you feel like it was executed well, where someone else who doesn't like the gambling part of it may not feel like it was executed well. It might, I mean, I think that becomes almost a personal choice.
No. Hang on. Let me just make an argument here. Listen, so when you go into the oh my gosh, I just brain farted, sorry. So when you go to gamble, when you go to the casino, thank you.
Yes.
When they have the, it's every single one of the slot machines are rigged to whatever percentage beyond, ever having a chance of winning.
Mm-hmm.
And the air conditioning is set at this level, and so many factors in this place are set for you to be stuck in a zone to where that's where you're gonna be. That's where you're gonna be. I don't think Rocket League was going out to exploit the same type of fucking shit. You know what I mean?
Does Rocket League have windows? Does Rocket League have a clock? Does Rocket League pump oxygen in through the vents to keep you awake?
No.
So,
okay, well then you may have a point.
Here's the thing about that, though. If you're talking about is this gambling? Yes, it's gambling. Does it look like gambling to the majority of people, and especially children? No, it does not look like gambling. It looks like, I get a thing. But yes, it is gambling. You're giving them money in the hopes of gaining a digital good. So the problem is, if you go to Vegas, you know that you're gambling. You are aware that the casino wins.
Here's the problem.
You may not understand that with these games.
Here's the problem with loot boxes, not for adult people who have a healthy way of spending their money or choosing like, okay, I'm gonna allow myself to spend this much money on this thing, right? Because we have jobs, we make money, and we can choose how we want to spend it. Mm-hmm. I think the big problem with the loot boxes is kids playing video games, because we have a teenager and he has money of his own, and he spent quite a bit of money over the summer buying loot llamas in Fortnite, and it was his money to spend, but it was feeding that kind of addiction you get with gambling, like, oh, I could get that really cool thing. And I think that's where we start falling into the loot boxes being a problem, instead of just saying, oh, I want to buy this specific DLC from the store. I'm going to buy this random box from the store, because then you keep buying the boxes to hopefully get the thing you want, instead of just giving them $15 for the whatever.
Yeah, I kind of like the way that ESO does it, the Elder Scrolls Online, because on their store, you can buy these boxes that don't require a key to open. You just buy a box, and then you open it, and then there's a chance that it could contain one of any number of items, and they're all kind of sorted by rarity, like legendaries and epics and rares and all that crap. Or if there's an item, you can click, look at the box, and it says, here's a list of everything that this box could contain. You're going to get something on this list. Or if you don't like the gambling aspect, you don't care, you could just pay a set amount of money and just buy this item.
Yeah. I'm
And
fine
that
with loot
is
stores
what
that have everything available on the store for a set price, and then if you want to play your hand of chance at a loot
Yeah.
box, that's fine. But hiding every bit of the DLC, the purchasable content behind a loot box and making it completely random,
Okay,
not a fan.
look, that's okay. I don't know. That's not Rocket League. That's not. We're not describing the same thing here. What you're talking about is content that opens up potentials in a game, right? That is a monetary value. Whereas Rocket League, the concept that I'm using as a comparison is just is cosmetic as well. It's not beneficial
It's not pay to win.
But-
yeah.
but-
No.
but-
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
Overwatch is the same thing. Everything is cosmetic. There's no
Right.
there's no actual advantage in game, but it's
Yeah.
still gambling. If you want that skin, and you can physically go and buy it for
Yeah.
you can buy credits or whatever to buy it in the store. That's different.
So that's the other. Hold on, Gigett.
Okay,
Look,
yeah.
I'm the only. Like, I feel like I'm the only one in this bottom right hand corner, like taking this one fucking side right now. So hold on a second. Overwatch, you can actually purchase crates. You can actually purchase boxes.
It's the same thing as Rocket League.
No, you cannot. You cannot buy boxes.
And
So
Rocket
it's-
League?
No, you
Well,
cannot
yeah,
buy
but
boxes.
you have to buy keys to open the boxes.
Okay.
There's
It's
still
the-
a real
it's the
money
same
investment
thing.
involved in opening this.
No,
Okay.
it's not. It's not.
So-
Oh no, it's
I do
actually
not.
worse.
I do not get as many boxes as I want. I do not get to go out and say I want to buy. Look it. I'll be the first to admit when I played GTA.
It's like Guild Wars 2. You get the crates as you play. You get the black iron crates as you play from quests, from drops. They're completely random. You can't do shit with them, mind you. You can only
Okay.
open them if you buy a key.
Right.
What is
So
the difference? What is the difference between that and just buying the fucking crate? The same thing is occurring. You
difference
cannot
is-
get the digital thing unless you spend real life money, and what you get is completely random.
Well, because if somebody could buy just the crate and they're like, "Oh, I really want this top hat," they could dump $5,000 into the store to guarantee they're going to get one.
That's exactly my point. So in Rocket League, I buy as many keys as I need for as many crates as I get over time. Whereas if I play GTA 5, you guys know, Nightson knows, End of Line knows. Actually, everyone here knows. Okay, I played League of Legends
Yeah, we know.
I played League of Legends for a fucking day. I bought Varus. I bought a fucking skin. I had all of his shit. Okay.
But you knew
Fine,
what you
whatever.
were buying. It
Look-
wasn't random.
Yeah,
it
yeah,
wasn't
no.
gambling.
No,
You
that's
traded
not
a
where I'm-
fiscal amount for a good.
Let me finish. So what I'm saying is, when I went into GTA 5, and I started playing GTA 5 online with my buddy, we all know Rando, and I said, look, I want to buy $99.99 worth of this. In the game, I knew that I was going to be able to buy a club. I knew I was going to be able to buy a bunker, and I knew that I was going to be able to buy a
Handor,
fucking...
no one's complaining
Yes.
about that though. That's not what we're talking
that's
about.
fine.
You
Yeah, that's
know,
fine.
you are trading an amount of money for a thing that you know you are getting. It's like going to a store and saying, "I want this fucking pot. It is orange. It is this tall, this heavy, and this wide. I am walking out with that pot, and I gave you money for it." It's the same thing as you buying something in GTA 5. You knew what you were buying. It's not like you dropped $100 on a table and GTA was like, "You're gonna get this random shit. Good luck." Oh, it's all fucking garbage. Well, damn. I'm out $100. Gosh.
So I'm gonna come take this back a little bit here, and drop that particular because Cloak touched on something interesting, which is a lot of this aggressive loot boxing has led to legislation.
oh, it's banned in
Yes.
like
Yeah, a lot of
few
states
places
are
now.
having
Oh,
issues
that's
with it.
true.
But it's really funny because it actually can lead to a very slippery slope when these laws are created by people who don't understand gaming in general.
True.
For example, let's say
random rewards from a quest.
when random rewards from a quest,
Mhm.
or the new WoW instead offers to sell you a dungeon for $5.
Mhm.
Then it's like, hey, $5 DLC. Here's a dungeon you can do. Is that gambling
No.
to get the
No.
loot from? Really?
No.
No,
There's a
because
percent chance that you
because
kill the
loot
boss.
drops are set. Like, I mean,
But
there's a loot table is set. I mean, eventually you're gonna get the thing. Just keep
The
doing
loot
it.
table,
You know
the
what?
loot table on a loot
Everybody
box
over
is
here-
also set.
It's all hypocrites right here.
No. I think I understand what Nightson is trying to say, which is that the random drops in a dungeon could be construed as gambling if the person writing the legislation doesn't understand how video games work, right? And
Yeah,
that there is a difference between random drops in a dungeon and opening a loot box. And so when people are writing these kinds of laws, it is a slippery slope into what are they going to do to our video games that's going to, make them unfun or change the way we like to play, because laws are getting involved with our games now.
And I would just like to say I am not a hypocrite. I have never once paid for a key or a loot box or
Yeah,
any unknown
go
thing.
on.
If there's a store and they're like, hey, you can buy this item for X amount of dollar dues, then I'm like, cool, I like that item. I'm going to pay for that item.
Yeah, we've all
I
done
don't
that.
I don't like gambling, like even in real life. I don't gamble. If I
don't gamble
if I
either.
have money,
I'm-
I want to know what I'm spending my money on. So
Look,
I'm not
I've-
down with the gambling stuff.
The
So
only lotto tickets I've ever gotten in my entire life have been because they've been given to me on my birthday. I do not gamble.
So here's my question
But apparently
before
I
we kind of
gamble often.
wrap up the topic tonight. Is there a better way to handle these types of microtransactions, loot boxes, games as a service? Do you guys have any opinion on how a game could continue to make money and make these same kinds of things?
Well, I think nobody will ever argue that a cosmetic only store is pretty much kosher.
And it's surprisingly works. It's been proven that if you have a shop with cosmetic only or quality of life things in your store and it's not pay to win, you can sustain your business off of it. Guild War 2 is doing it. Path of Exile is doing it. It can work.
And we
I
haven't
think
even
League
talked
of Legends,
about.
I think League had the perfect store.
Yeah.
I spent. That's the only store I've ever spent money in, because I always knew exactly what I was getting. It was all up front, and it was a game that I played enough that I was like, all right, I feel like I've gotten the value out of this game. I'm going to go ahead and toss them some money and buy this cosmetic. That is, I think, the golden example of how
We
to
haven't
do
even
that.
talked about stores like Secret World or Dungeons and Dragons Online, where
It's
most of
completely
their
out
stuff
of control pay to win.
is a lot of their stuff is
DDO is
cosmetic,
out
but
of control pay to win.
they also offer like chapters of story content
Yeah.
and stuff for your.
Yeah,
Right.
I'd actually like to see more a la carte
I'm fine with
style
that.
games.
Yeah.
Where here is, like, as I said, the WoW dungeon. Rather than me spending $15 a month paying WoW, I would love them to come out once a month and say, "Here's a new dungeon. Give me $5. Give me $10."
Yeah.
Like,
I
all
can see
right.
that.
You
Very
can wait.
unlockable.
You can wait a year and a half for a full-on expansion, or I can give you a new dungeon or some content every month and a half, and you pay like $2-3 every 2-3 months. But
As
you keep
long
sustained
as-
content. Yeah, man, it works for me. I'm good.
As long as they post the loot tables for each boss in the in the store.
Yeah.
Right. So you know what you're playing for.
Yeah.
Something that somebody brought up too, which I completely forgot, and this is like hardly goes towards my argument, but Rocket League did install a format of keys to which you could get decryptor keys that were free. They were free, and you could use those to unlock. I don't know. I just feel like Rocket League nailed it, whereas opposed to so many. I don't know.
No one here pays Rocket League. I can't tell you one way or
Handor,
another.
I don't think you're wrong. I think that it goes back to everybody has their own version of what's fun. And so
Yeah.
like obviously for Oreztes, like the gambling of opening loot boxes is not fun for him. Like he wants to know what he is spending his dollar dues on.
Yep.
And for
Yeah.
you, part of the excitement of what's going to pop out of this box, kind of almost like a Jack in the Box kind of situation. You're like, "Oh, what's going to happen?" Is enjoyable for you, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think that people need to find whatever it is that's fun for them, and so if opening the loot boxes is fun, then cool, just don't go in debt doing it, right?
Right.
And
right,
for
yeah.
other people, it's buying a dungeon, or it's just the cosmetic stuff. I think there's a lot of different ways that it's done well, and there are definitely ways it's done poorly. And so it's kind of hard to find the right way that's going to fit every player, right?
I have one question for you guys. Do you think the subscription-based model is dying, or do you think it'll survive?
I hope not. I prefer subscription-based model because then I know that the developer, as long as they're putting the effort into the game, they're going to retain their players and they're going to continue to get their income.
Yeah.
The sad truth is with a subscription model, it's although nobody is under any illusion that $15 a month is plenty to pay for a server and do whatever they're doing. It's proven that $15 a month is not as much as people are pulling out with cosmetic stores and microtransactions.
Well, you can do both. Like, you can have a cosmetic store like Square Enix does with their Final Fantasy 14 and still be a subscription model. And I'm a huge fan of the subscription model because then if you're only doing cosmetic stuff in your store, then that's what you're doing. And people are cool with paying for cosmetics. If your sole source of your company's revenue for this game is off your store, you're going to pretty much have to start offering, pay to win elements in order to get people to invest money.
Yeah, but keep in mind, Final Fantasy does have pay to win in it. You can buy for the, you can have your wedding ceremony. You can pay for that, and it gives you a ring that gives you an XP boost.
That is true. And then you get a 2-seater chocobo. So that is...
Wedding rings give you an XP
value.
boost? That's
value.
amazing.
It does. You have to have the full-on ceremony and everything. And, I mean, and there's also a big... it's completely subjective how people feel about buying characters at max level, XP boosts, things like that. Like, it's a whole other discussion. And some people feel strongly that it is pay to win. Some people feel like it doesn't really matter. It just gives that person they're missing content, right? So you're still getting to enjoy that content. So who cares if someone else skips that content to a higher level? It doesn't give them. I think where it becomes problematic is I think why people put the blanket pay to win on things. I don't think there's such a thing as pay to win in PvE because you're not competing against anyone. I think if it's pay to win where there is some kind of player versus player. That gives you an advantage. I think that's a whole different subject.
And that's exactly the point I was going to make. Like, me personally, I don't PvP. So if people want to put a weapon on the store that, one-shots every boss in the game, I don't care. I'm only going to do dungeons with these guys. If somebody wants to one-shot this boss and get me loot faster because they wanted to spend 150
And that is the mindset of a support.
Yeah, like if it was like, this axe will one shot anybody in the game, and I was a hardcore PvPer and somebody had that and I couldn't afford it, that's horseshit. I don't like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm hanging back there giving you buffs and heals. If I can put an extra 3 damage on your 150 damage axe, okay, cool, whatever. I still get loot, right? That's good. I'm okay with that. Thanks for investing in my game experience, friend.
Okay. Well, cool. I think we have done a very good job of talking about the spotlight topic tonight. All right, for the last time tonight, we're going to go ahead and throw it over to Kurt for our last giveaway.
All right. Who's ready for more keys?
What the hell was that?
I think he was grabbing boobs and
Keys.
suggesting that keys were going to be given.
All right. So go for it.
So anyone who is interested, I need you to type Moose Rock in chat right now. Type
Moose Rock.
Moose Rock, MOOSE.
And we know that there is a bit
word.
of a lag in the chat from the video, so we will wait to
we're
make
gonna
sure.
give you time to
And
type Moose Rock.
And
all
don't
the
worry,
leftover
CA
keys.
Sith Lord, we will be getting you at least 3 because you have asked so nicely.
All the leftover keys are going to CA Sith Lord.
Yeah.
So,
It's Tales from the loot bribery.
yeah, he's only going to sell them on eBay, so don't let him profit because you didn't
Moose
want a
Rock
key.
rocks.
Yep.
Didn't I give you one already, Tomes?
Which one of these is empty? This one's empty.
Yeah, you missed the middle of his sentence. You just jumped over it.
All right. Wait, should we give him a little more time? Well, you know what? I'll tell you all how you can follow the show while you type Moose Rock a bunch of times.
That's a great idea.
All right. So if you're interested in this show or you've been enjoying this show, you can follow us up top and get notifications. Click the little thing and set notifications so you hear when we go live.
Do it.
If you want to watch recordings of this show, we have a YouTube. You can go to YouTube, search Pixel Scandal, and find us there.
We stream video games and tabletop games and a bunch of wonderful things that are not this. So
Yeah, we
go check it out.
We also do actual plays of D&D or not D&D, but Dungeon World, and we're going to be starting up a guest GM series, whole bunch of fun stuff. If you'd like to get the Nerdcast, which is this show, as an audio format, you can do so on iTunes and all sorts of other places. Just go on there and search Pixel Scandal Nerdcast. And we'd love it if you gave us, rate that show on whatever your podcatcher of choice is.
Hot turkey.
Yeah, you can give us
turkey.
Yeah, rate us on Spotify. I don't know if you can rate stuff on Spotify.
We are on Spotify, so if that's the place you
Yes,
like
we
listening
are.
to podcasts. I mean, it's this show that you just watched.
That
so
Well,
if you
that
just
is
watched it,
too.
you'll
Yes.
hear this again.
We
but-
have 25 other episodes though, so
Yeah,
we do.
if you enjoyed hearing us talk about shit for an hour and a half, you can go listen to other episodes where we talk about shit.
And
for an
I
hour
swear this
Or-
is the only episode that End of Line yells in. So
No, it's not.
Like,
Did I yell?
Wow,
I was
that's actually
yelling. I'm
amazing.
sorry.
That is
know.
amazing. It's only.
I know of 26 episodes, this is the first time you've yelled, and I'm
I'm so
very
sorry.
excited.
I'm very,
no,
I'm
I mean,
very
Alternatively-
passionate.
Yeah.
it shows how
Alternatively,
passionate you are.
Linda,
if you're watching this
Linda,
on
listen,
YouTube,
listen, Linda,
you can
Linda,
always
listen.
just go up there and copy the URL and then Google YouTube MP3 converter and then paste it in there, and then it'll just download the audio as an MP3 if you don't need
All right. So one last time,
hot
anyone
turkeys.
that would like a Fallout 76 beta key, type that Moose Rock in the chat there, and Kurt will be rolling up names here in a minute for our last keys.
And while he is getting these keys out to you, you need to understand that Moose Rock is keep the river on your right until you hit a bridge, and then take a left, go
Yeah,
down the
yep.
path until you hit the guard tower, and then Moose Rock is on your right.
Yep.
Yeah,
Correct.
That's
that
where
is, that is
And
where
we're
you
gonna
find
need
Moose
you-
Rock.
that's where you
We're
find
gonna need
Moose
you to
Rock.
repeat that to us.
Hashtag where is Moose Rock? All right.
Yeah.
I think we've gotten all the Moose Rocks we're gonna get. Everybody, here we go. I'm gonna roll it. Let's see who gets it. Oh, fictive fun. I'm gonna keep going. We're gonna do
Ooh,
more.
Nightbot ban people. Ban people, Nightbot.
All right, here we go. Here's another one.
You're running out of time to eat people.
Uranus can't win.
Uranus.
Keep it going, Kurt.
All
You
right,
know
we're
what?
gonna keep it going. Who else
Give
get
one to
one?
loot his life.
Love Music 101, you get one. All right, who else is gonna get one?
Love Music 101. Is that a
Flying
radio
Jackalope
station?
gets one.
The fuck? You're like, I didn't even write Moose Rock.
All right,
Yeah,
let's see. I think we got one
I
more
don't.
to go.
I also don't see a Moose
And
Rock
Kitty
Rock
gets
101.
You're
All
listening
right.
To Love Music 101 on the.
All right, I think that's everybody. Let's start giving out those keys. So I'm gonna be whispering you with keys. So stay on Twitch here for a minute.
So
Anybody want to do the outro? Because
Kitty
I'm gonna be
Cons,
giving out keys.
Flying Jackalope, Fictive Fun. I think those are all of our winners. If you want
You have until the time we turn off the stream to request one.
yeah,
Otherwise,
yeah.
If you want
we
one,
will,
Yeah.
we will
Moose Rock,
send
'cause I'm doing
Nightbot
the same.
audio.
We might possibly have a few more sitting in the bank. So if you want a key, go ahead and whisper Pixel Scandal, and maybe Pixel Scandal will be nice and give you something.
I'll just keep giving them out until.
If
Hey, you know
if
what?
you have
Hey,
any
guys.
friends that don't have a key and would like one and they're not here tonight, we will be streaming for the Fallout 76 beta tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if we have any keys left over and you have any buddies that need one,
They can jump
head
in.
over there and we'll hand them out then.
Absolutely. So
we
give
need
us a
to s-
follow here on
Go
our
ahead,
Twitch
Gigett. I'm
channel.
sorry.
Sorry, I was gonna do Kurt's
You
outro.
were literally just gonna say we need to get a Pixel Scandal fidget spinner.
No, I wasn't. What I was gonna say was we need to start giving out our Discord general channel so that people can come in and drop suggestions and so on and so forth into our.
Well,
Pixel Scandal.
you know, that is not a
Discord.
bad idea. If you do have
Thank
a
you.
suggestion for the show, you can email us at pixelscandal at gmail.com. You can follow us here on Twitch at twitch.tv/pixelscandal. You can find us on the YouTubes. You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram at Pixel Scandal. We do have a Facebook group as well. You can find our podcast on any of your favorite pod turkeys. And tomorrow we will be streaming more Fallout 76 and be looking for a We Were Here Too video on our YouTube channel of
It's gonna be
Handor
interesting.
and Nightson trying to work together as a team and not yell at each other, which I'm so excited. You know, Nightson and I played that a little bit, and we were a great team. We didn't yell at each other at all, and Nightson didn't yell at me when I got my lefts and rights wrong, and I hope you guys did even half as well as we did when we played it.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm excited to watch because I have not seen your gameplay yet.
And
so I'm
if I
excited.
screwed up and gave you a bad key, because I'm just copying and pasting out of here. So if I screwed up and gave you a bad key, you message me and I will get you the right one.
Bro, if
Yes.
you're doing a giveaway, you gotta cut and paste.
Yeah, that's
All right, guys.
Mistakes
Thank
were
you
made.
so much for tuning in for tonight's Nerdcast. We'll see you again next week, 8 p.m. next Saturday for our next Nerdcast. See you later, guys.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye. Bye.